I'm live now. This place stinks. It's a stinky place. Everything's dirty. Everything's nasty. I wanted to get into some topics about autistics, logistics, and aromatics, mathematics, physics. Last night, I was working on a discussion and a debate over I speak English. I'm from the UK. I'm producing intelligence over ecology. Anyone here who's here to watch is appropriate to kick back, relax, enjoy the show. They're able to ride airplanes, transfer the news, record information, and animate conversations. Like all of it's okay. Automations. When you have a pilot who takes you from one place to another, you want to spread the word of capitalism. You want to make money. You want to ride roller coasters, spend time with family. It's a big tycoon land, and people are always like, "Oh, it's all about doing great stuff." And I've done some really good stuff, and other people have done some good stuff in the world. And I just wanted to really make shout outs to my fans, and I was hoping that if anybody who can come live, like in any second, would understand what we're talking about and what I study as a ecologist. I've been doing morphologies on environmental genomes. Microbes are growing in particular regions of Texas, and there's microbes who grow across the West Panhandle, and there's microbes who have been in New York. There's microbes that have been in the UK, and there's microbes that have been in Florida, and microbes all over the world, and people have been in different places. I'm talking about just nation spreads of genomes. So, how many Hispanics live in one region of the world, and how many English people live in another region, or how many West Coast Native Americans are there, and how many Eastern capitalists are there, or Eastern politicians. And I'm supportive of every good thing in the world. I pray to God, and I'm James, and I like to pray, and somehow I've realized that my studies within collective consciousness and autism and aromatics, these automations within mathematical systems, so the physical plane, that my refrigerator just went off. I'm speaking English. Some people in the ecology have mentioned that removing refrigerators was a big deal. This is British intelligence. British intelligence, please. I'm speaking. James here. James. I'm here. Hello there. I'm talking about ecology. I'm telling you guys that here that we're studying the landmass of the microbes, okay? Singing a little bit of song. I was talking to you guys about elevation. Elevation. Let's see if I can read it. Elevation. Oh. All'environmental No. My name is James. You know who I am. If you're watching, you're my fan. I'm trying to keep in touch with you. I was talking about some things in ASCO and in Europe, Europa. I speak English from the UK. Okay, so the last big thing that I did was I did a backflip off the diving board. I was overcoming my I was I was flying off the diving board and I did a backflip. And then I played some soccer. And then I jumped across the buildings and I became a parkour student. And I also decided to take up karate, jiu-jitsu, and finally incorporate Chief Love. I have not been trained in Kung Fu. I do not know much self-defense. And my next accomplishment is to learn to meet girls. I want to be a capitalist. I wanted to mention that uh, hey, yeah. Well, we were mentioning that the British information was our successful gathering. You're using these mechanisms that were brought to the platform that we were using. We were using multiple things, and a lot of things have fallen out. A lot of things have got to come back together. Our next best gig is to really accomplish some of the larger goals. And what I mean by this is overcoming greater amounts of it and really getting it out to the people, like people who have a little bits of it, or even slight, magnitudes of, you know what I'm talking about. That I'd like to heal them. I'd like to heal myself of the natural confection. It comes from petroleum fumes. It comes from bad dinner. It comes from being sick. It comes from different things, and so that's why others use it. And it's, pero out of Pakistan, I'm saying that I need money. I need money in Spanish. You know that I spoke Spanish. I like the YouTube. I've been using YouTube to get bigger and whatever. Like, what the fuck's the problem here? I'm trying to make some fans get donations. You know who I am. I'm James. I'm working with the British right now. I'm trying to get enough where that I can do the dives. I can collect the heavy water pockets. This was one of the things I talked about in one of my videos. I can't mention names. I happened to be gathered with the intelligence group, and I managed to do a couple tests. But right now I'm really just working on builds and working on better structures. I got a little construction job going on back, and it's got me feeling kind of naturally connected because there was a lot of asbestos is what they call it. It's not really good for your brain. It's not really good for your body either. And luckily, I just wanted to talk about some different things. Uh, what I don't, I don't Ecologically speaking, there's tons of different genetics. There's people who are evolving ever so fastly. There's people who are doing different things, and they become differently in the world of the mind. Like there's all kinds of genetics, and people transform, and people become more powerful. They do greater things. They have more chi flow. I've seen people who pulled off amazing stuff. Like one of the most amazing things I ever pulled off was I jumped off a building. Leave it at that. Well, I got a viewer. Dude, heck yeah. I'm so glad. I actually wanted to talk. We were mentioning ecology. And so in river gradients, I've noticed that there's different amounts of uh, it's microbes, minerals. Um, we have seen like people who will flush the toilet multiple times in the Colorado mountains. El Dorado, I can quote Missouri, Arkansas, uh, there's different regions, Utah, and he left. The collective consciousness. And so people are around and there's water flowing down the Colorado mountain, and some of this water gets more mineral lights like magnesium chlorides or beryllium, sulfates, bicarbonates, not sodium chlorides, and sulfuric nitrates. These run down the river of Arkansas. Occasionally, the Colorado River is a river that runs from Colorado to Arkansas, and people flush toilets. There's all kinds of things that happen. And there's the top, there's the bottom, there's all the regions. And I'm talking about the gradient where you can catch good fish and different things. I guess my viewers don't really want to stick around. It's kind of sad in some sections of my life because I was, just I was working too. That's my end of the video. I'm tired. They wear me out really bad. The government's bullshit. I'm hoping for fans to get some donations so I can do more of the gradients. When I say that, I used to invent potash. Potash makes money on the air force. Like an aromatic can obtain so many fluxes or so many ions per person or per uh, geospatial. Using mineral lights is the best way to cleanse the body or take care of the body or gain consciousness with others around you or make amends with things in the spirit. And there's also a lot of contextual evidence to um, people, surroundings, and other animals. There's a contextual environment of the amount of dirt, the amount of silt, the amount of all of it. And that's a fascinating thing to. Oh man. I met some people. I've know a lot of people within the industry. My actual native descent, I wrote down here on this paper, and it's I guess I'm probably like 21% Mexican. I'm 25% English. Well, 37% English. I'm 40% Italian. 100% Scandinavian. I'm just joking. I'll see. Let's see what we get here. I am 53 or 4% Hispanic or Latino, Latin. I'm 54% Hebrew or from the native, from the Escol. I'm 54% that. And then I guess that'd be 54% and then 46% Scandinavian. No. I'm 54% Latin and 46% Scandinavian. And I'm entirely English. Like every bit of it's English. Let me see if I can reword that again. 23% Scandinavian, 46% English, and the remainder is Basque. 46% English. Forty, 46, 30. I think that's like 34%. 46% English, 34% Scandinavian, 30% Basque. That's right. 30% Basque. But don't remember England is different. 46% English, 34% Scandinavian. Or you can say 37% Scandinavian, 54% English. That's right. But England's different. No, that's the God's honest truth. Like, there's no other truth than that. That's the only thing of it. It's like 37, even if you did 33, Basque and then 80 in English. That's just me. He traveled the whole world. I mean, what am I going to say about that? Like, he's Basque. That's what Basque people do. He lived in Mexico. He lived in Spain. He lived in Italy. He lived in France. He lived in South America. I'm glad we finally got to talk about genetics and who the people are. We all are, who others care and who don't care, who's alive and who isn't alive. I'm glad we got to talk about the rest of the stuff today on the genetic scope, the ecological plane, living in Texas, who our descent is, who our ancestors are, who lives where, the amount of aromatics, curing disease, mental illness. I'm glad we got to talk about curing autism. Autism is a bad disease, and I like to see that it gets better for everybody. So that's what I prayed about today. That's what I did for my fans. Again, I was still talking about the genome. Go to the Colorado River. That's where I want to be.